Hoodie guy coming back here with another Kaspa video. Well, sorry if you tuned in yesterday. The audio was not, something happened there on that live stream. Sorry about that. Here we are. You can see total 2. You go back the last month, total 2 is up 33%. This is everything excluding Bitcoin. That market cap is also getting close to an all-time high. You can see it hit about 1.6 trillion in the 2021 peak. We got up there in December. It pulled back. Now we're getting 1.5 trillion. We're getting close to a breakout, an all-time high on total 2. So that's exciting. 2 miners always shows a different hash rate. That's about 600, around 600 petahashes. Cast.fyi has always got 100, but it's always higher, a couple hundred higher. So I don't know I don't even really know exactly how someone could use the code to calculate that. I know that there's ways you can do that because they're calculating hash rate for every blockchain or block DAG. But Kaspa's chugging along 10 blocks per second. Price action's going back up, getting close to 10 cents. So, for a long time, 10 cents was a support level. And then when everything broke through on altcoins, now it's a little bit of resistance. But once we break through that, and then for me, I won't really start getting excited until we get over 20 cents and get to a new all-time high and get into price discovery. You can see some of the KRC20s like Zeal is working back up. Last 7 days, it's up 32%. Michael Saylor posted this. Stay humble, stack sats. They're probably buying. Market's going up today. You can see Bitcoin dominance is falling down. 61 is down to 61%. So there's been a couple fake outs, but this is starting to become a pretty good drop off. And last time it was like 61% and it went down to 55. So I think if we go under 60 and we get to 55 again, I think then that is probably we're looking pretty good. Bitcoin will still go up, just altcoins will go up more. Yesterday, the only main point I was trying to make is the rapid emission schedule. Bitcoin eventually will have to have for a security budget, we'll have to have fees replace it. You can see that Kaspa is a very aggressive one. Now, when you go look at on cast.fyi at the emission schedule, you can see that you have to subtract it or divide it by 10 or multiply it by 10 to kind of get where we're at, because once the crescendo hard fork came, there's 10 blocks a second. So the rewards basically, each block got 1/10 of the reward. It's the same amount for every second. But you can see that we were at 55 Kaspa, per second was going to miners. Now we're down to about 40. We're down to about, we'll be pretty close to getting to about 46. But already at the next cycle, 2029, you're going to be looking at it's going all the way down to like 2.7. So that's a big drop off. So any network needs adoption. Otherwise, that's its biggest risk. Bitcoin included. Obviously, there's a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin. Eventually, it will need its rewards to are going to dwindle, and it's going to need fees. And Kaspa's up against it. It's just up against it a little bit quicker. When you look at Bitcoin here, you can see most of the blocks are pretty full now. The mempool has got ones, everything to the left of this dashed line. But you can see, here's some blocks 4 hours ago that were pretty empty. A couple that are empty where, so you can see that some of these ones, it shows how much is in fees. The block reward's 3.125 right now, but you can see this one had about 3.9% of a Bitcoin in fees. That's only like $4,500 or something roughly. You can see this one had 0.001 Bitcoin, so it was only basically the 3.125 Bitcoin. So the miners aren't making very much. Even on this one right here that had quite a bit, had 0.057 Bitcoin, you can pop in there and see that when this pops up here, you can see that that miner got $376,000 and only 6,700 was fees, so 370,000. So pretty much all their money is coming in on that. So every proof of work blockchain's up against that. I guess actually technically that's not true, because Doge is just inflationary and it'll always have just an infinite supply. So I guess if you have an infinite supply, but Most people want the fixed market, the fixed cap. So we got Bitcoin dominance falling. This CoinGlass website shows you some of the bull signals for Bitcoin. I try to take a look at the Pi Cycle top indicator right here. It's saying it's 67% complete. Rainbow chart 60%. Pure multiple 60%. I'll put a link in the description and pinned comment to this. ETF to BTC ratio. I mean, which one is going to be right or not? I don't know. This says Bitcoin dominance 92%. So I know some people were thinking that Bitcoin dominance had to hit 70%. You just never know. I don't know if you ever watched Crypto Currently. He had a video basically saying this time's not different. He believes that Bitcoin will go down. Here's all the times that it went back down and to the 200 moving day average. And actually we went below that here the last time. And he's actually talking about how people think the institutional money will stop that from happening. But he highlights here where the stock market, the S&P 500 goes back like here, 2011, 2012, 2016, 2019, 2020, 2022, and then recently it goes down and tests the simple moving or the 200-day moving average. And so that just shows that there's a good possibility that we have, even if it's not a complete crazy blow off top, but we're looking pretty good for an altcoin season. So it's exciting. We're getting close to getting back over 10 cents. And just stay vigilant, get a game plan together. If you're planning on taking profit, you want to do it in the least emotional way you can. So the better you have a game plan, because once the prices get ripping and roaring and once we're in price discovery, until the cycle's over, people are only going to be calling for higher prices, the majority of people. And the best time to sell is not going to feel like the best time to sell, just like the best time to buy is when it's always lots of fear in the market and everything crashing down. And this altcoin season could come hot and heavy in a pretty condensed period of time. Maybe it's only a couple months. And, if you're just planning to hold through the cycle, then you're just watching your stuff going up and down. If you're planning on taking profit, then getting some kind of game plan together is good. And, most likely just dollar cost average out what price targets you have, whether you start selling at, 50 cents, 60 cents, whatever, whatever your price targets, whatever you think it can get to, it might not get there, it might exceed. That's why if you keep some in there and it blows past what your expectations are, you still have some to sell. So that's basically a version, just a generic version of what I'm doing with all my altcoins. So, which I don't have that much, is pretty much Dog and Kaspa and a little bit of ADA left over. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching and have a good day.